Alright, so in the last video, guys, I showed how we could use R and we could open up a script such as test scores, and we could run these test scores. And guys, I didn't kind of go over this in the last video, but the reason I've typed in test scores here is because I'm naming this data set test scores. And then when I run the next line, I'm telling the R program to calculate the mean of the data set that I named test scores. So if I were to come in here and do test scores 2 and type in another set of test scores, 198 and 92, and then do mean of test scores 2, it's now going to calculate the mean of the data set that I named test scores 2. So then I hit enter, and it's going to tell me that I created an issue. So let's try that again. Mean of test scores 2 is 96.67. So once again, I didn't create that on R editor, so I won't be able to save what I just did, but I just want to give you an idea of when you name it at the beginning, you would then use what you named it for all your commands, because you're telling it to calculate the mean of the test scores. So this was a data set that had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 test scores in it. But what if we want to create what if we have a data set that's got, say, 100 data points, or 1,000 or 20,000 data points? Using R to type in that is not reasonable. You would not want to sit here and type in 20,000 numbers, or 1,000 numbers, or even 100 numbers. So what we do for that is we use the Microsoft Excel program. So I'm going to open up Microsoft Excel, and I've already created a data file. And then let's see if I can get it opened up here. Here we go. Alright, so I've created a data file, and guys, this is a data file that I used for my master's thesis. But anyways, this is all the school districts in the state of Ohio. So I'm going to scroll all the way down through here, and you're going to see that there are 609 school districts in the state of Ohio. And then their typology is the type of school they were. So we have urban schools, which are your schools that are kind of like the upper socioeconomic status schools in the cities. You've got the suburban schools, which are your outer city schools. Then you got schools that are from a small town setting. We have schools that are from a rural setting, so not even classified as a small town. So we got all kinds of different schools. And then this column represents median income. So in that county, what's the median income of a household? So now, to bring this data into R, there's a few things we need to work with. And typology is classified using numbers in the Department of Education's website. I've converted it to where we've used the titles through a string of if statements. I do not expect you to know how to create an if statement just yet, but that's how I've created this column here. I've added this column. But this median income has an issue. The $sign and the 0.00 makes this to where R will not be able to work with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the entire column C. We're going to go up here to number, and we have currency right now. We're going to change it back to just a general number. And that's going to drop the $sign and all of the decimals and keep it just as the whole numbers. Okay, and it does that for that entire column if you highlight that entire column. Now, so our data set's ready to use. But what we have to do is we have to do File, Save As. Do not just do Save. You have to do Save As. And you want to name it something relatively easy. So since this is district typology, I'm going to type it in as dist type. And then here is very important. Save as type. It needs to be saved as a CSV, delimited. If it is not saved in this format, R is not able to work with it easily. So to make it as easy as possible, you always want to save your Excel files as CSV, delimited files. And we're going to save that to the desktop. And it's going to say, well, wait a minute, are you sure you want to do this? You hit OK. And it's going to say, wait a minute, there's a mistake. That's okay. There's no mistake. You just hit yes. It does that every time. If there's no issues, you just hit OK and yes. Alright, so now that data set will be saved on my desktop. And then now we have to get it into R. So we're going to open up R. And guys, like I said in the last video, we're going to go to new script, and I'm going to go ahead and save this script and put it on my desktop. I'm going to name it data. That way I could use this script that I'm getting ready to show you for any data file, not just district topology. Okay, so now here's the thing. We've got to find a way of getting that data into R. So what we have to do is you have to figure out where your working drive is. So you hit get working drive with an open parentheses, close parentheses, and you're going to run that command. And that's going to tell you where R is going to try to pull your data from. And right now it's trying to pull my data from the documents file. And I saved mine to the desktop. So what we're going to do here is we're now going to set our working drive. So the next command I want to type in is set working drive, and it's going to be C:\, /users, /Fred. I'm getting this information from down here, guys. /, and instead of doing documents, I want it to take my information from the desktop. So I'm going to type in desktop, and then I'm going to close the parentheses. And that's going to set the working directory. So that's going to tell R where I want to try to get my data from. So now when I hit Control R, it's going to run that. No errors occurred. That's great. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to just do a brief description of what the R program is and then some ways to use it. There we go. Let's just show you an example. Let's say you forget to put that and then you try to run it. It's going to tell you that you missed something. So then you try to put quotation marks in here. And it's going to tell you missed something. So you put another set of parentheses in here. And it's going to tell you that there's an error. Okay, so it's very sensitive, but once we get it typed in correctly, and get rid of this over here, as like I said, run. Once we run it and no error appears underneath of it, that means we're good to go. So we've got our working directory set. Okay, so now we're going to try to pull our data in. So you can name your data whatever you want. I'm just going to name my data DIST-TYP because it's the district topology data. > Now I'm wanting the R program to read a CSV file. So I'm going to type in read.csv parentheses quotation mark whatever you named that file, and we named the file DIST-TYP. So it's going to be DIST-TYP .csv quotation marks enter, and then hit Control R. No errors over here on the console page. That's a great thing. Alright, so then our next one is going to be, we're going to come in here and we're going to type in DIST-TYP and then run that. And then if we come over here, you can see that now all that data that was in Excel is into R. Okay, and then we have our titles up here: typology, median income, type. So if you want to know the names of your data, then you just do names of DIST-TYP, and if we hit enter and then run, it's going to tell us the names of our data. The district name was the first column, the typology was the second, the median income, and then the type. So now we can come in here and we could do, well, median income is a quantitative number, so we can do mean of median income, and we hit Control R, it's going to say median income is not found. Okay, that's going to happen because of one missing command. Once you have input your data and you viewed it to verify it came in correctly, you have to do what's called attach your data. So I'm going to attach the DIST-TYP data set, and then I'm going to run that data. Now what that's done is that's actually attached this table to R to where now it can read it. So now if I come back down here to median income and run it, it's going to tell me it's not available. Okay, and what we see is the reason it's causing the issues is these NAs. So here's a very perfect example of why using this R editor is a bonus. These have to be deleted in order for us to be able to calculate, because the R program is trying to calculate averages of your median incomes along with these words down here at the bottom, so it's causing issues. So what we would do is we would save this. We would save the script, exit, no on the image. We would go into our Excel document, scroll to the bottom, and we would find what's causing the issue, which seems to be these cells. So we're going to delete these cells, and then we'll try to bring this back in. So now we're going to save. Yes. Okay, so then we'll go back into R. We're going to open up our script on the desktop, which was data. And then what I'm wanting to do is now just run through these codes again. So rather than typing it all in and starting all over, I've just ran through all these codes, and you can see the NAs are no longer at the bottom of the data set. So we've fixed that issue. So now if I type in mean of data, Control R, it tells us that the median income for all the school districts, the average of that is $33,113.84. Okay, so we now have it to where we can work with it, and now it's attached. So that gives us access to where we can now do more of it. I'm going to stop the video for this right now, and then we will add to this in the next video.